Hey everybody, my name is McClintock and welcome back to the boring stuff that actually works, and this is part 2 of Triads. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I highly recommend starting with that video, and the link is in the description below. So I promise I'm going to stop asking the annoying question of do you know your ABCs very soon. But again, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay? This should become very, very clear very soon. We've been doing it for a few videos now, and we're going to continue with it, but today I'm going to be using the D, G, and B string, but we're going to be playing the same triads, but just in a different place on the guitar, right? And this is definitely boring, but extremely important. So let's just jump right into it, okay? We're going to begin on an E minor triad. Okay, so again, how to figure out what a triad is we got to figure out what the 1 or the root is, the 3rd, and the 5th. Okay, so I keep going back to the same alphabet, right, to the same scale, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but again, we need flexibility of not always beginning on A, right? We can begin on E, for example, and that's what we're going to do, right? So I'm going to begin that alphabet or that scale on E. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, etc. Okay, so now in my mind, we're beginning on E, so E has to be our root, or the first place we begin, or the 1. E is our 1. So that means E is going to go to F. F is 2, but we don't need the 2, we need the 3. E, F, G. We don't need the 4, which would be A, but we do need the 5th, which is B. E, F, G, A, B. E, G, and B, right? And there it is. That's how we're going to play it. So now I'm just going to continue up the alphabet like I did in the previous lesson. So E is going to go to F. And now we're just going to recalibrate. F is the new root. F, G, A, B, C, D, E. But man, we want to get a little faster with this week, right? So root 3rd, 5th, root 3rd, 5th, 1, 3, 5. We just want to get these things to become automatic, so the quicker we can go, the better, right? So F, G, A, B, C. Count them up, okay? So that means F, A, C. Boom. And that's major. E was minor, and now F is going to be major. So now we're going to go from F to G. Those are both major, so they're going to have the same shape. And now I'm just going to start on G. G is the new 1. So I've got G, A, B, C, D. G, B, D. Let's keep going. So G is going to cycle back to A. So now we're at the beginning of our alphabet, right? A, B, C, D, E. This is just the easiest place, right? A is obviously 1. B is 2. We don't need it. C is 3. Need it. D is 4. Don't need it. E is 5. We need it. A, C, E. And it is minor. Okay, so now we're just going to shift over to B. B, C, D, E, F, G, A, right? So B is 1, C is 2, don't need it. D is 3, B, D, E we don't need, but F is the 5. B, D, F. And this is diminished, right? It's the only diminished triad in this scale. Okay, so now we're going to move over to C, right? C, D, E, F, G, root 3rd, 5th, C, E, G. Move it up to D. This is going to be minor, right? So we're starting on D now. D, E, F, G, A, D, F, A, and then we're going to go and we're going to finish off on E minor again, right? It's the same exact shape, but an octave above. So E, G, B again, okay? And now there are your triads on the D, G, and B strings of the guitar. About 89% of you who watch this channel are not subscribed. When you subscribe, it helps in 3 ways. It helps tell YouTube that these videos are worth recommending to other guitar players. It helps keep me inspired to make more lessons, and it helps keep you informed about future lessons that are going to come out. It's free for you, and it makes a huge difference. So please hit subscribe. So I highly recommend practicing this idea because we don't just want to do these string groups each week up and down and forget about the other string groups. So I recommend starting up here, nice and high, and I've got E minor, right? I'm on the D, G, and B strings. Now I'm gonna go right next door. I'm gonna go over to the G string, and I'm going to try to figure out what triad is right next door. And it is going to be A minor. Okay, so I'm moving over what they call a fourth, but I don't want to get into that right now. I'm just trying to find the next note that exists. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the D string, but I'm going to go down to fret 12, which was D minor, right? And when I'm doing this, I'm thinking, okay, I'm obviously using the shape, which is normal. We want to use the shape. That's the quickest answer. But I'm also thinking D, F, A. And so now the big question is, what's next door? It's fret 12 on the G string. What note is fret 12 on the G string? That's a tough question, but it's G, right? And what was G? It was G, B, and E, right? So now I'll finish up. I'm going to go to C. C went next door to F, went to B diminished, and that went to E minor, that went to A minor, to D minor, to G, to C, to F, to B diminished, and that's going to bring us back home to E minor, and we can finish off with A minor. In the description below, you can find a link to my Patreon page where I have this chart and every other chart or tablature for every lesson I've made on YouTube so far. And I also recently wrote a book called Master the Guitar Fretboard and Essential Music Theory in just 10 weeks. So if you're interested in taking on that challenge, you can find a link to that in the description below as well. If you're working with this video and you're still not confident about the notes on the fretboard, I have 2 videos entitled The Chromatic Scale Part 1 and Part 2. The links are in the description below, and I go into a deep dive about how to learn each note on every string, and it's gonna help you out a lot. So if you're lost with anything, I highly recommend checking those out. That actually sounds like music. You know, it actually sounds like some real stuff that we're creating, right? So we're using triads to create a nice chord progression. Like I said, I don't want to get into too many details about this. I just want to get you thinking about what triads are and using them. But hopefully you can kind of already start to see the power of what they can do. So stay strong with this stuff. It's definitely tedious, but it's very much worth it. So it's going to definitely take your playing from point B to point C, and I just want you to kind of realize you're using the entire guitar neck. You're not playing in one specific position or box. I mean, we are now moving up and down the entire neck, and hopefully you're thinking not only about shapes, but what notes you're playing. And this is the real, you know, secret sauce to improve on the guitar. We have to know what we're playing. And if you still don't have any idea about what these notes are on the neck, I made 2 long form videos called The Chromatic Scale. And in those videos, I'm going to teach you every note on the guitar, and I'm going to teach you a couple of little tricks to hopefully make it as easy as possible. So if you want any information about that, the link is in the description below. Thanks for watching and working through the boring stuff that actually works. If this is helping you improve, subscribe. When you subscribe, it keeps me motivated to make future lessons. It helps YouTube tell other guitar players about my channel, and it's going to help keep you informed about future lessons. More is coming soon. Hit subscribe.